Hi everyone, I just thought I would play with this live rain, because watch this. I'm Neo! Okay, now I'm gonna turn that off now. How do I turn this off? Welcome to your orgasmic clearing session. Now it's just raining. Now it's just raining. Oh, there we are. Hello and welcome. I'm just going to adjust the lighting here because it's a little bit dark. Can you see me better now? Oh! Well. Excuse me, gravity got me. Oliver, hi, how are you? So, Oliver has asked for a clearing in the group chat today, so I'm going to offer that soon. First of all, I just want to check in with some intention for the clearings today, and I'm going to put my slippers on because my toes are cold. One sec. Very important that my toes are warm when I do energy clearing. Alex, hi, how are you? So, welcome everyone to the call today who is here live or who joins us during the live, and also hello to anyone who watches the session later. First thing I'm going to do is just set up some intention. So my intention today is to access the orgasmic energy of all that is, and to bring some clearing work to share with you guys here today. Just want to preface this by saying that the clearing work that I share is based on the work by Dane Thomas in Clear Your Shit. So you can do this stuff yourself if you want to buy the book Clear Your Shit and follow the online program, or you can watch this kind of video and just follow along, or you can book in to see me to do private sessions for that. Totally up to you. If you want to participate today, just to let you know that what do I want to share here? That I want you guys to be self-responsible for yourself. So if you choose to participate, you can participate to whatever level you want to or feel safe to participate for you. The basic premise is I'm going to guide you into some energy work. If you're participating, I'm going to consider it that you are giving me permission to access your energy field by being on this call during the participation. If that's not okay with you, no problem at all. Feel free to leave at any time if you feel uncomfortable. If there is anything that you want to ask me questions about later, or if anything comes up for you, I am available for that conversation for sure. Also to just kind of call in some intent around the fact that we are physical beings in our bodies right here, but we also have like an energetic part of us. So to just be in awareness that you are a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual being, and you also have connection to your ancestral heritage. They helped you to come to where you are in your body right now. So to send some gratitude for our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors before then, for bringing us to where we are here today, and to honor, from my perspective, it's really important to also honor the future generations, that we do this work now, we evolve so that they can have the best of us for their future too. That's just my perspective. You can take or leave that as you please. So what I really want to talk about today is, first step, focus on the breath. Breathing deep down into your body, activating the belly, breathing down into your sex centers, breathing into your womb, your ovaries, your vagina, your vulva if you're a woman. For a man, breathing down into your heart, down through your belly, into your cock root, near your perineum, where your cock and balls join together, where your expression of your manliness lives. Breathing right down into the length of your penis, into the glands of your penis for women. Breathing into their clitoris, into their lips, feeling all of your own sexuality, knowing that your life force energy, your potency lives in your sacral and base area. It's like our connection to the earth. It's where the life force springs forth from. So our clearings today, whilst not necessarily only centered around sexuality, they're going to be about orgasmic activation, and part of orgasmic activation is releasing the blocked energy that is like a density around our full true expression of who we are. So if you haven't watched these videos before, there's some more basic ones from a couple of weeks ago where we just open up some basic kind of shame and guilt stuff. But this week I've been asked some specific questions, so I'm going to go into some clearings around those. First of all, I'm going to have a little quick general chat around the topics. Then we're going to do some clearings. If anyone who's online now has any questions that they want to ask or specific clearings they want to ask for, I'm totally open for that. And then anyone who's watching later, if you drop any comments or have any questions, I will respond to you when I can. So 2 topics have been asked of me this week. 3 actually. Oliver's on the call now and he asked for one, which was, correct me if I don't get this wrong, Oliver, he had a desire for skin. I'm not exactly sure what it means or exactly what he wants cleared around that. He said he wants a clearing of his sexual energies and it's around a desire for skin. So I'm just going to feel into that. The first thing I'm going to do a clearing around is juicy, wet pussies. Yes. So it's my understanding that basically as a woman, it feels really great to have a juicy, wet, responsive, activated pussy. And I'm going to be really honest, from my personal experience and from a lot of experience that I've had with clients, friends, other women, etc., is that there's a lot of shame around that. There's lots of misinformation. Please excuse me, when I'm doing clearing, I have a lot of like energy releasing and sometimes it manifests as burping, so just please excuse that. Yeah, like I know guys are just like, yummy, yeah, wet pussies, of course, but you know what really happens, or in my experience what has happened for a lot of women when they're young, there's a bit of closure around that. Some women are blessed to have been with lovers when they were very young that were really receptive to that. I personally wasn't, and I know a lot of women that weren't, that were kind of shamed, or you know, I had a partner, my second boyfriend, sweet man that he was, just didn't know, and one day he said to me, I can't believe you just peed in my mouth. I was aghast because I didn't experience it that way. I was deep in an orgasmic state and I was horrified that that was his perspective. I'm not going to say I didn't know what was going on. I was present to what was going on and I felt a lot of like energetic motion and a lot of pleasure. And, you know, in that moment, even though he didn't say it until a few minutes later, even in the moment that he spoke of, I just felt this shame, this withdrawal, this holding back, this pulling back of my energies, this not wanting to release the flow of energy, of fluid, of orgasmic juiciness, let's call it. And truly, like in that moment, a lot of things changed for me. A lot of ways that my body responded simply didn't respond that way anymore. And through a lot of this work that I've done, clearing work, orgasmic meditation, self-loving practices, expanded orgasmic practices, that has changed. So what I'm going to do today is some energy clearing around being accepting of a woman's own juicy wet pussy, and also just general kind of clearing about what it means to be like open and expressive and generous with sexuality. There's actually a way that if you're holding back the fluids of your orgasmic expression, you're not allowing your full orgasm to be expressed. And some women actually have it as an expression of not wanting to give away their potency, their power. Orgasmic fluids have, in the same as male ejaculate, orgasmic fluids have a lot of nourishment, nutrition, energetic potency, as well as like nutritional, energetic, and biochemical, hormonal nutrition. There's a lot of well-being benefits in ingesting orgasmic fluids from any gender, and orgasmic energy for that matter. Anyway, so let's do some clearings. If you're on the call today and you want to follow in and speak the clearings, by all means do so. And I'm going to encourage you to touch some points on your body and do some breath work. Even if you're a guy, you can participate in this. Energy clearings have this way of being quite potent with their intent. So it's not necessarily a gender specific thing. If you're a guy and you want to call more orgasmic, wet pussied women into your life, I suggest you participate and enjoy. It may impact your own sensuality. It may activate some of your own orgasmic energies as a man as well. So, I'm okay with having an orgasmic, juicy, wet pussy. I am okay with that. And I'm also going to check into what energies might want to move in the energy field around this. So in the energy field of those humans that are watching today, participating in the future, are they okay with having orgasmic, juicy, wet pussies? No. Okay. Earth, metal, lungs, lead, intestine, dogma, guilt, shame. Totally yes. So I want you to get your fingers, grab this point in your fingers, if you can't see there, the juicy kind of part of your inside your thumb and forefinger, rub on it. It's probably going to be painful. Take some deep breaths into your belly. The energy around that is shame. So potentially what's in there for you, take some breaths into that. Shame, it might be for me, it might be for you, it could be for all of us. Breathing into the place, releasing the energy, deep breaths in and out. Feeling into the shame of confusion between orgasmic fluid and urine. Feeling into what it might be like. Would it really matter if it was urine, or part of it was? There's actually a lot of biological and anatomical evidence to say that there are skeins, glands, and different parts of the female anatomy. And if you want to know more about that, just contact me and I'll send you more information. There are separate glands that for female ejaculate, and it's not urine. And just breathing into what might move for you, what could release for you if you would allow yourself to be more free and flow with the fluid and expression of your full orgasmic self. let all that energy move, shaking out the hands, moving the shoulders, deep breaths. And just for the energies of polarities and opening both ends of the energy field expression, we're going to do an opposing clearing, which is I'm okay with not having an orgasmic, juicy, wet pussy. I'm okay with that too. Okay, for the energy field of everyone watching, for the energy field of anyone who's watching later who wants to participate in this, I'm okay with not having an orgasmically juicy, wet pussy. Fire, small intestine, triple warmer, hope, resilience, lightness. Lightness is an energy of like allowing the lightness of your being to be expressed if you would let this energy move. So for this one, underneath the ribs here, so you can imagine your rib cage follows down like this, and then there's the hardness of your ribs, and then underneath that there's like the squishy part of your kind of solar plexus. So you're going to dig your fingers in there a little bit and take some deep breaths. Oh, this spot feels kind of sensitive for me. So if you're rubbing on the spot, just be tender with yourself. Take some deep breaths. Soften your belly. Open the breath. And just feeling into this was that I'm not okay with having an orgasmically juicy pussy, and lightness was the energy block. So for me that means like if I would let those energies move, if I was okay with not being like that, would there be more lightness in my being? How am I blocking my lightness in my being with not being okay with having an orgasmically juicy wet pussy? Really just letting the breath move, letting the energy move. Oh. And then just giving that a little rub and then letting the hands go. If anyone has any questions about that, let me know. Marissa! Hello, beautiful. So good to see you here. We're doing some energy clearings around orgasmic pussy. So I know you have a lot. You have a lot there. Miss Beautiful. So usually after I do clearings, I normally do some journaling around it. What came up for me? How did I feel? Did I have any like thoughts or memories around it? While I was doing that clearing, I had like a lot of sensation that was running through to the middle of my back. Sometimes I'll just write about and describe the sensations that arise. Sometimes I will have actual memories that come up, actual events or situations or feelings that need to be cleared. Everybody's a little bit different. If you're watching this now or later, I would encourage you to maybe write about it, maybe talk to someone about it, or feel free to contact me if you have any questions about it. So now I want to do some cock clearing. This makes me so happy because I love cock, and it makes me so happy to see and feel men who are more embodied in their cock. So I'm all for that. So today I want to do a clearing around a rock hard, heart embodied cock. And my experience of that is the feeling that I see or receive or notice in men who don't have shame around their sexuality, who follow their desire, who lead with their cock, and without shame, without there being like there's something wrong with this, or for me, I've experienced, and our culture is very shaming of men's potency, their in my understanding, you know, like our heart is the center of our being, and for a man, they're penetrating the world. As their heart fills their cock, they penetrate the world. The next moment, a woman, a situation, themselves, you know. So, and we all have those energies inside us. So I just want to really acknowledge that whilst men and women have different physical anatomy, we all have these energies that run through us. So women, you know, men have a juicy pussy energy. They have that receptive feminineness in them, and women also have this ability to be penetrative, to be upright, bold, potent. So, love to hear your perspective on this, guys, and totally respect if you don't think that as a woman I have enough access or potency to cockness to clear around this. It's been my understanding and experience that I've had a lot of success clearing these kind of energies for men, and there's lots of great male practitioners that do this kind of stuff, so if you want to access a man practitioner, go for it. But for now, I want to call in the embodiment of the masculine pole, the energy of potency, the precision and penetrative energy of a full heart, breathing that full heart, loving nature right down through the belly, into the sacral, into the base, through the balls, through the cockroot, into the base of the penis, into the shaft of the penis. I'm glad it's working for you, Peter. Tell me more about what that feels like. Into the glands of the penis. The glands of the penis is similar anatomy to the clitoris, and it's a really like place of enlightenment. There's mapping of the glands of the penis that has different areas that activate different energies. There's like a divine presence in the very tip of the glands of the penis. And so I want to call in a clearing around that today. So if you want to participate, we're going to start with the clearing of the non-embodiment. That's to open up the energy. So I'm okay with not having a rock hard embodied heart cock. Not okay with that. Hi Maria. Fire, earth, metal, lungs, grief, guilt. So that doesn't surprise me. Guilt energy. We're going to just, while I talk about this, let's rub on the points. So they're just inside the shoulders here, the lung points. Guilt. So that doesn't really surprise me. I know that a lot of men experience guilt with themselves, or potentially even projected onto them from partners around performance. Is my cock hard enough? Is it not? Can I keep my erection? You know, is it going to do what I want it to do? Is it satisfying my partner? And all of those thoughts are really valid. They're really, they're real. And I want to really encourage men to let go of all those thoughts, let go of all that guilt, just let it fucking go. Because what's really the most important is that you feel good, and that you're paying attention, you're listening to your cock. What's it telling you? What does it want? If your mental perspective is pressuring your physical, there's not going to be a good relationship there. If you're really letting your cock lead and guide you, it has a lot of wisdom for you. So stop feeling guilty about it. Love it. Own it. Be it. It's you. Big breaths. Letting all of that energy move, shaking out the hands. Nothing to feel guilty about. Love your cock. Own your cock. Be your cock. And now you're going to say, I'm okay with having a rock hard embodied heart cock. Breathing that down from the heart down into the cock. Gallbladder, liver, anger, rage, fury. Oh, fury is a liver energy. So while I'm talking about this, we're just going to rub right hand on the right side. This is the liver point on the ribs, just like underneath your chest, the first few ribs there, just rubbing in big circles under there. Wow, the energy of fury, that's like a big, potent, powerful energy. How does that make you feel? Oh, hey. So taking some big, deep breaths into that. Like, I'd love to know from any guys who are on the call, if you're in the clearing and you're feeling stuff, like, what's in there? How to convince others to love it. Oh, Oliver, you don't need to convince anyone. Not at all. Your cock is your magnet. Breathe into the magnet. That's it. Yeah, I'd love to know what came up around the energy of fury for you, if that felt resonant for you. The first thing that comes to mind, like I'm just going to follow my intuition in this place, is that maybe there's a fury around expectation, around having, you know, a rock hard, fully embodied cock. You know, I'm going to just own and say the fact that cocks are beautiful in all their forms. They're beautiful when they're flaccid. They're beautiful when they're in recovery. They're beautiful when they're just beginning to be activated. And it's about the being of the energy of who you are and how that's expressed in your body, in your experiences. Just letting that go. When you feel ready, shaking out the hands, moving the shoulders, maybe doing some little turns with your hips and shoulders there, deep breaths. How to convince others to love it. Let's see, do you want to do some clearing around that, Oliver? What would be the clearing around that? I want to do a clearing around not convincing anyone else. So for me, from my understanding and my experience, the potency of sexuality is not really about getting approval or permission from anyone else. Consent, obviously, like if you're going to interact with someone. But when I say permission, I really mean like this is an internal perspective. I have permission to enjoy my own body. I have permission to believe in my own potency, my own sensuality, my own vibrancy, and trusting that that is my like energetic orgasmic magnet. So actually it's not my job or your job or anyone else's job to convince anyone else that their orgasm, cock, pussy, whatever it is, sexuality, potency is good enough. It's just not. What else should I say about that? Do I need to do a clearing around it? Does anyone want a clearing around that? I'm okay with that. No, I'm not even going to do a clearing around that. I'd love to know more, Oliver, about what this skin thing is. You want to devour some skin. I'm okay with devouring skin. Fire, earth, metal, lungs, sludge, intestine, dogma, guilt, shame, spite. Spite. Would it be spiteful to devour someone's skin? I imagine that depends on your intention. If you want to join Oliver in the clearing around devouring skin and the energy of spite that came up around that, that is in the large intestine meridian, which is this point here on the hands. It doesn't matter which hand you use, they both contain the meridians. rubbing deeply into that and breathing into the permission to be okay with devouring skin, letting go of any spite that may be lurking in that. I need skin on skin. Okay. Oliver, what do you think is preventing you from having skin on skin? What would you say is in your way there? Deep breaths in. We're still going to be clearing this large intestine meridian. While we're waiting for Oliver to respond, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about, I just lost that. My cock magnet is in reverse polarity. I wish I knew what that meant. Reverse polarity. Would you like to reverse the polarity? My God. You know what? I'm rarely lost for words, and this is one of those times. I just don't know what you mean. Oh dear. Okay. Polarity of his cock. Alright. Maybe this means your cock is a repulsion instead of an attraction device, and you're wanting to switch the polarity of that. I'm okay with having a reverse polarity cock magnet. You're not okay with that. Fire, earth, metal, water, wood, gallbladder, liver, anger, rage, fury, frustration. That's really frustrating. I imagine that would be so. That's the liver meridian, which is under here. Yeah, repelling. Yeah, thanks, Oliver. That's what I thought. So the liver meridian is under here. We're just going to rub on the right hand ribs with the right hand. But for Oliver, you're going to rub on the point in between your thumb and forefinger, and you're going to take really deep, expanded breaths right down into the belly, right down through, down into the cock. And then we're going to do the opposing polarity of the clearing, which is I'm okay with not reversing the polarity of my cock, not okay with that either. Earth, spleen, stomach, empathy, sympathy, disgust, worry. Well, that sounds like a normal state of brain for that concern. So that's the stomach meridian. That's the ribs under the left-hand side. So for anyone who feels that their cock may be pushing people away instead of magnetizing your desires towards you, these are actually really good clearings for you. Just going to rub underneath the ribs on the left-hand side. Worry that your cock is not magnetizing towards you the things that you want. Thanks for bringing this into the field, Oliver. That's a really potent clear. I can feel that a lot. It feels like a spear diving through my stomach right now. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but take some deep breaths and let that energy move. I'm not sure if anyone else has any questions for me right now. Just gonna check the time. Oh, we've gone 10 minutes over, so sorry for anyone who had a schedule. We've gone a few minutes over. Shaking out the hands, moving the shoulders around. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed some of these clearings here today. Sometimes they're a bit random, sometimes I just follow the guidance, sometimes I answer the questions that people ask. I'm pretty surrendered into where the field takes me, and whilst that is amazingly fun, sometimes it feels like super vulnerable and scary for me to not know what's going to happen or where the next thing is. But it's my intention to just show up for that. So here I am. If you want more of this in person, you can come to one of my orgasmic activation workshops. There's the one on this Sunday, which is the 27th of May, I think, Sunday morning. I'll drop a link in the comments below, or you can just look at the event page. You can book sessions with me in person if you want that. If you're interested in expanding your sexuality, starting to have conversations with people around that for yourself, come to one of our Navigating Open Relating workshops. There's one on the 8th of June. I think that one is called Threesomes. And if you're ready for some deeper playfulness, we also have sensual erotic events, which are hosted play parties with consent workshops. So whatever your flavor is, whatever your preference is, you might want some one-on-one work, you might want to go into some deeper orgasmic activation and breath work, or you might want to meet other people who are interested in sex positive stuff. Come along, have some fun. Let's meet up, let's expand the orgasmic activation and awareness to increase our consciousness, to have more fun, to have more access to all of our true selves. That's why I'm here, following my purpose and all that crazy shit that I do. I love you. Bye bye. Mwah.